This is a national NC-100XA, dating from about 1938. I'm just finishing up restoring this receiver for a friend. It's actually in reasonable cosmetic condition. Done some little touch-ups on the paint, but nothing significant. It cleaned up really nicely, and it's got a really excellent dial. And the top of the chassis looks pretty good too. Just put some light onto that. There's a little bit of minor rust on the filter choke and the power transformer, but otherwise it looks good. These capacitors are non-original. These have been restuffed. They're actually cans out of my junk box. The original capacitors are long gone and have been replaced with probably 1960s replacements. Didn't look right. These at least look the part, and everything else in there is original. I'll switch it on. This switch here switches the S meter off. It hard stops when the power is applied or when the bands are changed. So it's good to leave this out until the set warms up, then switch it in, and the S meter is now operational. So we're on the lowest band, band E, which is the low part of the broadcast band, and I'm tuned to a CBC station at 790 kilohertz there on the dial. The set is working on an external speaker. It's just a jury-rigged field coil speaker and output transformer. The owner of the set has got the correct speaker for this set, so you can connect it straight up to it. Facilities on the set: you can switch the B plus off if you want to transmit. It's got automatic volume control, manual volume control. Use the RF gain control to stop the set overloading, and it's got a BFO, and the BFO pitch is adjusted there. It's got a tone control, which works reasonably well. It's sort of fully natural, just straight through, and then gradual treble cutoff. It's got a limiter, which is actually fairly effective. Introduced a little bit of distortion of about 7 on the dial. It's got a crystal filter with a phasing control, which also serves to switch the filter on and off. So that's no crystal filtering circuit now, though the selectivity can still be adjusted. And 4 on this scale is the widest selectivity, which is about 4.5 kilohertz, and gradually narrows down to about 1.7 kilohertz at the top end of the scale there. And the crystal phasing introduces a null in the signal, which you can see on the S meter there. Of course, on a modulated signal like this, it fluctuates at the null. The alignment's pretty spot on, especially at the top end of the dial. The bottom end of the dial, the alignment's done with some little inductance loops in the coils, and some of them work okay, and other ones very limited amount of adjustment there. So a couple of the ranges are a little bit out, 10 or 20 kilohertz out at the lower end of the dial, but otherwise the tracking is really good. As you change the waveband, the pointer moves up the scale to indicate which band you're on. So we're on the lowest band at the moment. See the S meter slung hard across there. Now on the next band up, so to that part of the band.
The collection of Civil War artifacts from my great uncle's service. Museum or Historical Society or something.
It's quite sensitive. It's certainly sub 1 microvolt signals are detectable on AM, and sub 0.5 microvolt signals are detectable on CW. The under chassis has been restored, I'll call it sympathetically, that it had been recapped years ago by somebody and using junk box parts. I ripped those out and replaced it with reproduction Cornel Dubilier capacitors, which some of these models had when they were new. Also, any out of tolerance resistors that would affect the circuit operation have been changed out. But again, I've made reproduction resistors, so the new resistors that are made to look like the originals. That's what the owner wanted for this particular set, because he really will use this. This set brings back many memories for him. I understand his father used to have one of these, and he recalls it from back in the day. And he would really like. He had this set for several years, and he just wanted it looking the best it could, and working as it did back in 1938. So I think that's what he's got with this set at the moment, which is it's quite nice. This is a very, very nice example. Not perfect, but it is a very nice example.